justice, no peace.
Race had nothing to do with it.
We're asking for justice, justice, justice.
So did George Zimmerman utter a racial slur moments before he shot 17-year-old Trayvon Martin? Forensic voice expert Tom Owen says no. I saw him on our program the other night. He's now listened to this, and he used a computer to analyze Zimmerman's voice on the 911 call. That's the call in which many people said he used a derogatory word to refer to Martin. So after separating Zimmerman's voice from the cell phone interference, Owen says he came to the conclusion that the word Zimmerman used is punks. We have put it on a loop to give you a sense of what it sounds like. Martin's family says the volunteer neighborhood watchman racially profiled their son. Zimmerman says he acted in self-defense. No charges have been filed. Martin Savage is in Sanford, Florida for us tonight, and he has the latest. And Martin, I know the tape is still difficult to understand, but you hear the unks or something like that as opposed to a ooh, which would have gone along with the other word that some people thought George Zimmerman used on that call.
Yeah, and you've actually picked up on what was the key part, the reasoning that Tom Owen said that he came up with the deduction that it's punks. He was listening for that ooh sound, and it was never there. And in fact, when he slowed it down, and when he was able to take out the distortion that he said was in there that actually gave people that misimpression, you get more of the sound or punks. And he also passed it by a number of linguists, and they verified what he found.
It's pretty amazing. And this is the same voice expert that earlier this week actually said it wasn't George Zimmerman calling for help on that 911 call. So certainly it doesn't appear that he has any dog in that fight. Why is this word choice so important to determine if this is a racial slur?
Well, I mean, you're right, first on what you just said, and it's the fact that he came out with something earlier in the week that would appear to be damaging to George Zimmerman. Now he's come out with something that would appear to bolster his defense. It's significant here because, of course, if there was no racial slur, it probably will have a significant impact on any federal investigation, especially one that may be pertaining to violation of Trayvon Martin's civil rights, hate crimes, because, in other words, if George Zimmerman, many people have felt, because of the racial slur they thought they heard, that he was actively going after Trayvon Martin for more reasons than just because he was the neighborhood watch captain. So remove that, you take away some of the inflammatory language, and you may also remove a large part of the federal case.
Wow, all right. Crucial analysis there. Martin Savage, thank you. And investigators are continuing to look into the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. We have a task force meeting right now in Fort Lauderdale that's trying to evaluate this controversial law, which is the law that prevented police from arresting George Zimmerman. Florida's Stand Your Ground law says you have the right to kill if you feel your life is being threatened, and it doesn't seem to matter who is the initial aggressor, which is fascinating. State Senator Chris Smith says the law is flawed because it does protect people when they are the aggressor. Remember this call that Zimmerman made to 911?
Are you following him? Yeah. Okay, we don't need you to do that. Okay.
All right, many believe Zimmerman instigated the situation as a result of that. He said he was told not to follow them and he shouldn't be protected under the law. It's important to note that his attorneys have told us that they are using self-defense, not stand your ground, as a defense. Justifiable homicides, though, have tripled in Florida since the state passed the stand your ground law in 2005. Senator Smith is doing something about it. He's out front. Senator, I know earlier this week you and I talked. You were talking about this commission you're putting together to evaluate what's happened.
Well, we've met today, and we're still meeting behind me. State attorneys, public defenders, law professors, and criminal defense lawyers, and former prosecutors, and actually former judges. We're going through the statute line by line and trying to really distribute and seeing where the ambiguity and where the problems are, and to come up with some action steps to try to push the governor as well as legislature that maybe we need to clean up the statute and give people a proper direction of what we consider the rights and responsibilities of Floridians.
And I'm just talking about this aggressor issue, which you gave such an incredible example of on this show the other day. Would you consider keeping a stand your ground law, but being very clear to change the, if you are the aggressor, you can't use it in your own defense?
And that's exactly the point. We're meeting and we've been discussing. A few people have mentioned get rid of the law, but the discussion has been amending the law, especially when this aggressor part, that for someone to start the altercation or starting a fight and then using this as a shield for prosecution, we're looking at ways of more clearly defining that, because I don't think we believe that in a civilized society. And so
I mean, obviously it's early, but does it seem like you're going to try to push the governor to fully repeal the law or just to modify it?
We're looking to modify the law. I think the law is being misused, but it is, the premise of it is something that Floridians believe in, but it's being misused and misapplied. So I think we need to clarify the law more, and especially send a signal out to people that this is not what we expect of Floridians. We do not expect you to be the aggressor. We do not expect you to start the fight and then avail yourself of this law and hide from prosecution.
All right, Senator Smith, thank you, and good to talk to you again, sir.